Hey everyone, welcome to this magical and humorous adventure. She shook off her binds, using a statue as a gift for the red-faced guy and escaped the painting. When Sister Ingrid and Aunt Wendy arrived at the bar, they caught a glimpse of Freya's great escape. The sisters were left dumbfounded by the night's adventures. Just then, Ingrid got a call from their mom's lawyer, needing $1 million for bail, with the money at Aunt Mingle's. But they felt Aunt Mingle had already retired in their memories. Were their childhood recollections in vain? Wendy instantly understood Ingrid, so they took a shovel and headed to the cemetery. When they opened the underground box, the cash was enough to make anyone blink in disbelief. It felt like winning the lottery. With that money, they successfully bailed Joanna out. Talk about a plot twist. Unexpectedly, the red-faced man didn't go out in flames at the moment the portal closed. She endured the burning pain like she was a master in resurrection from a magic circle. She escaped the painting, ready to catch bathing Freya at home. Perfect opportunity. She swooped in from behind, planning to dunk Freya in the tub, but little did she know, the mother had already been bailed out, and Joanna swooped in to stop her. So, she used magic to seal the red-faced man in an ink painting again. The sisters buried it in the ground instead, temporarily resolving the crisis. They still didn't know the imposter's identity, and decided to uncover the mastermind with their mom, showing deep sisterly love. But Joanna wasn't keen on letting them dabble in magic. To squash their ideas, she even tossed the spellbook into the flames, talk about tough love. But Saoi thought they should learn magic. Don't be deterred by Mom's fortress of defense. So she secretly guided the sisters in magic, telling them each witch has her unique gifts. Frey keenly senses people's deep desires, brewing various potions, while Ingrid, with extraordinary wisdom, invents new spells. And their mother was an all-round genius, a real Super Mario among witches, as Saoi put it. So Saoi started casting spells, elegantly tossing a stone into the air, truly a magic show at the next. The sisters practiced, but Freya wasn't at her best, sinking the stone after pondering with closed eyes. What a riot. It was Ingrid's turn, and sure enough, she lived up to expectations, performing an aerial show for the fish in just 2.5 minutes. Saoi was very pleased with her performance, but in fact, Joanna hadn't completely destroyed the spellbook. She collected the ashes from the burning and poured them into a box, then started casting repair spells. What a thought for Mom. After repair, the spellbook was restored, but now a thorny issue arose, who framed them as an imposter recently. After centuries, she made many enemies. Joanna flicked through old diaries, crossing them off. She was quite the patient detective. Recalling all her past deeds, she still couldn't guess the imposter's identity, especially since she had packed off all those once wanting to harm her and her family. As darkness fell, she, feeling lost, prepared dinner, awaiting her daughters, but when she turned, the imposter suddenly attacked, and she flicked a spell to repel. The imposter countered with the same magic. Just then, Freya returned, and happened to witness the scene. Then she glanced at the knife nearby and silently whispered a spell. The knife took flight towards the imposter, but she was ready and turned into a cloud of smoke to escape. After this incident, Joanna finally realized she shouldn't stifle their gifts. She finally brought out the spellbook and invited the sisters to dinner. Truly a happy home makes everything thrive. To stop the imposter, Joanna and her family cast a protective spell, a defense not to be underestimated. Meanwhile, Sister Ingrid had been worried about the consequences of the resurrection spell she recently cast. She sought a way to reverse it, avoiding fatalities, but Aunt Wendy said it was an unbreakable balance. But Ingrid was relentless. She found a reversal spell in an ancient book. What luck. She secretly set up the spell and recited it, but the resurrection spell didn't reverse. Instead, her hands turned icy, blood began to freeze, and she slowly lost sensation. Oh no, not luckily. Aunt Wendy heard her cries and used the spell to restore her frozen hands. Talk about timely rescue. It was then that Ingrid finally accepted the irreversible reality. Since the resurrection spell cost lives around her, Ingrid couldn't accept her love's confession, truly heart-wrenching. That night, she sought comfort from her best friend, but just then, her friend's 7-month pregnant belly suddenly started hurting. What a surprise. Ingrid took her to the hospital. The doctor said she lost too much blood, needed surgery, and the child was at risk. Hearing the news, Ingrid was devastated. Recalling the cost of the resurrection spell, drowning in guilt, she wished she could turn back time. Her boyfriend, Adam, learned the news and rushed to comfort her. Adam's great. With Adam's assurance, her emotions stabilized, but her phone rang, raising wondered thoughts in her mind. Next day, Aunt reminded Ingrid it was Adam's funeral, asking if she'd join, but she refused. What a dodger. Aunt Wendy thought Ingrid couldn't accept Adam's departure, so didn't push. But as Ingrid closed the door, Adam appeared. It turned out she couldn't accept Adam's departure, so she resorted to a summoning spell from the spellbook. At that moment, Adam was merely a spirit, but he was still filled with love for Ingrid, until she revealed the cost of the resurrection spell. However, Adam couldn't believe he was dead until Ingrid took him to witness the funeral held by his family. He realized others couldn't see him, grasping the situation. Adam deeply loved Ingrid, and didn't blame her for his death as the resurrection spell's price.